stand. With a roll of his eyes, he enters harvest mode with a flash. The photographer hadn't even reacted when the extra got their boxed meal. Then the car was split in two. The blind man, not believing in evil, shot wildly, but the assassin's speed was comparable to the Flash. With a teleport, he swiftly took down the blind man, inserted the dual blades, and the two met their end in the northwest. This seamless operation, even Newton couldn't help but go to the comment section to complain that he is the Jungle King, Lanling Wang, who can defeat the sky, the earth, and the air in seconds. Those who like him have already started liking and following. The King of Lanling, who has roamed the canyon for many years, has three equally skilled companions. Boulder has the ability to control stones and turn them into armor. His power is on par with Magneto. The Invisible Woman becomes invisible when her body touches water, allowing her to infiltrate enemy camps as if no one is there. Then there's Bear One, carrying a novel bag and wielding a Gatling gun, who can switch between beast and half-orc forms. However, these enviable superpowers all come from a failed experiment. Dr. Gia secretly researched biochemical weapons to rule the world, but the experiment failed. Although the four gained superpowers, they could not return to normal life. They deeply resent Dr. Gia, who gave them these superpowers. Is this a loss of morality or a distortion of human nature? Dr. Gia, in order to destroy the evidence, directly detonated the laboratory. However, the leaked chemicals caused his genes to mutate, giving him the ability to control lightning and machinery. To achieve his goal of domination, he used his superpowers to control tanks and armed robots, launching a large-scale war against humanity. The Ministry of Defense held an emergency meeting, proposing that the female colonel find the four individuals who were transformed back then, as only they have the ability to deal with Dr. Gia. Soon the female colonel found the four transformed individuals through relevant information. After the female colonel explained her purpose, the group gladly joined the team to kill Dr. Gia to avenge their past transformation. Meanwhile, Dr. Gia, with only 30 abs, was hiding in an impenetrable secret base, preparing for his world domination plan, unaware that the four were already outside the base, ready to strike. They are the Russian version of the Fantastic Four, each possessing unique skills. The Invisible Woman slowly walked into the rain, her body immediately entering an invisible state, thinking the enemy couldn't see her, unaware that she had already been detected by the enemy using thermal imaging. When she reached the trap, the enemy shot and broke the liquid pipeline, instantly freezing her into an ice sculpture. Udyr saw this and quickly switched to bear form, activating berserk mode and charging in, taking down enemies with a single punch each, making them cry out in pain. However, no matter how skilled in martial arts, one still fears a kitchen knife, and in the end, he was captured alive by a specially made steel wire net. Meanwhile, Jay had already activated his cataract mode, swinging his crescent blade like the Grim Reaper harvesting souls. With just a few teleports, a group of enemies was instantly defeated, but in the end, he was careless and was accidentally shot with a tranquilizer dart by a hidden enemy, and within seconds, he passed out. Just like that, several people were captured alive, leaving only Yang Kui alone. He attacked from the side, engaging in a fierce battle with the enemy. He wrapped stones around himself as an indestructible armor, then charged like a bull, sending the enemy flying hundreds of meters. But then the muscular doctor appeared, and Yang Kui's attacks felt like mere scratches to him. With a big slap, Yang Kui was beaten out of shape. But the doctor did not relent. A crisp cracking sound was heard, and Yang Kui's 18-year-old back instantly broke, ultimately fainting in the ruins. Thus, the Fantastic Four were completely defeated. Afterward, the other three were locked up by the doctor, who persuaded them to cooperate with him to rule the entire world, giving them 24 hours to consider. Then, the doctor continued to implement his plan, launching the left and right tank squads, bombarding the city along the way. The prosperous city quickly became ruins, but his real target was Russia's tallest signal tower. It turned out he planned to use the signal tower to transmit a signal to activate the Cold War-era killer hammer left in space. If the hammer is really activated, the shockwave it emits could instantly destroy any city on Earth. Meanwhile, the female general found the severely injured Yang Kui in the ruins and secretly rescued the three who were imprisoned. In the following days, not only did they heal Yang Kui's injuries, but they also upgraded the equipment for the four. Jay's all-purpose armor can now completely ignore ordinary bullet attacks, making him both tough and powerful. Once Yang Kui's lightning whip is activated, a single lash can easily turn enemies to ashes with its ultra-high voltage current. This woman's invisibility cloak is amazing. Now it can not only make her invisible anytime and anywhere, but also make any object she touches invisible. Finally, it was Udyr's turn for equipment. He got a portable Gatling gun that can attack automatically and even learn to transform a second time, changing into a real bear. With these upgrades, the four were ready to set out and prepare for a final battle with the Doctor. Over here, the Doctor provided ample power to the signal tower, successfully transmitting the signal to space and activating the legendary killing hammer. Before long, the entire Earth will face a catastrophe. Udyr and Evelyn arrived here, launching an attack from the ground, defeating the enemy forces. But with the enemy's continuous reinforcements, the two still couldn't break through the encirclement. At this moment, Udyr activated his second transformation, directly turning into a battle bear, charging and shooting all the way, quickly overwhelming all the enemies. Jiang Qi, flanking from the basement, cut through obstacles with the help of the lightning whip. They successfully regrouped and prepared to head to the top of the signal tower through the pipeline, but were intercepted by the enemy's design. Udyr nearly fell from a high altitude, but fortunately, Yang Kui used the lightning whip to form a shield, barely blocking the bullet attack.
At this moment, Jay on the plane was ready to go. He leaped off, shot a steel cable at the wall, spun in the air like Spider-Man, and tower, hand.
Working overtime in the air, then cutting the pipe onto the enemy's feet with one stroke, successfully dealing with them. Just like that, the four found the doctor. Udyr was the first to attack, but was electrocuted by the doctor in a second. At this moment, Evelyn helped Talia to become invisible and restrain the doctor. Just as Jay was about to take his phone, he was unexpectedly knocked back by the doctor's immense power. Then Udyr transformed into a bear again and launched an attack, but it was still useless. Seeing the situation was not optimistic, Jay combined the sickle in his hand, used a rope to hook onto the plane above, and then tied up several people, successfully escaping from there. At this moment, the female general told them that the only way was to combine the strength of the four of them, but the risk was great and they might die from exhaustion. Now they couldn't worry about that and decided to fight to the death. Gradually, the power of the four gathered into a light sphere which was directly launched at the signal tower. The light sphere exploded violently, instantly turning all the buildings into ruins. In the end, the doctor also fell into the abyss and met his end, and the city finally returned to peace and tranquility.
The movie ends here. Alright, that's the story for today. Follow me, and next time I'll explain more exciting movies for you.